Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Today is Tuesday. We got a lovely Tuesday episode for you guys, ready and rocking and rolling. We got an interesting thread for today. Pretty excited for this thread. It's a bit unique. Today's thread is, what's your threshold for telling someone their partner isn't faithful? We've had a lot of these scenarios on the show where, a lot of people will ask, hey, I know that my partner is cheating, or I know my friend's partner is cheating on them. When should I say it? How should I say it? This, and that. And, I thought to myself, you know what? I give advice on this a lot. So let's see what you guys have to say. All right, so let's get on into it. If I know them and I also have clear evidence, in my younger years, there was a rumor circulating that my dad was cheating on my mom with some 20-year-old something girl. Turns out someone saw him with my sister at the store. It made its way through like 6 people before it got back to him. Okay. So I guess you would say I would have to have clear evidence. Factuals, I don't know. A lot of times, if it's my best friend, right? And I happen to, just get a little bit of an inkling, that something's going on, I would tip my friend off. I would just let him know, hey, look, man, I don't think she's cheating 100% or nothing, but this is what I saw. This is kind of what was going down. So just be wary. You know what I mean? Like, I get having clear evidence, but a lot of times you can't really have clear evidence. And then sometimes the clear evidence that you do have, it sometimes gets misconstrued. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh my God, hey, your girl's cheating on you. I saw her with another dude and this and that. And then she's just like, that is Alfonso. He is helping me plan my husband's birthday party. And then you're just like, oh. My bad, Alfonso. You know what I mean? So at the same time, that's why I look at it like, it's not best to just go straight accusatory. I think it's best to just be like, hey, this is something I saw. If you want to look into it, look into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I see it. But I get you. All right, what's your threshold for telling someone that their partner is unfaithful? When the partner is unfaithful. All right. If you know your friends, you know what unfaithful means to them. That's true. That is very true. Only because I have some friends that they look at it like, nah, even if my girl was texting somebody, I'd break up with them. If they were texting another guy or whatever the case may be. And it does make sense because not everybody treats cheating the same way. There's a lot of people that look at micro cheating as like, complete cheating. To me personally, I just look at it all as cheating. I'm like, bro, like if you have intentions, you know what I mean? Like you're guilty. It's the same way of like how the law handles premeditated murder. If you have an intent to kill somebody, then you have intent to murder. Like you're guilty of just that crime alone. And that's my thing is I look at it like even if you have intent to cheat, you didn't do anything, but you just had intent to do it. It's like, cool, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore because obviously you have ulterior motives. You know what I mean? Obviously you're looking for something different. You're just doing it in the confines of a relationship and that's just what it is, So yeah. All right, what is your threshold for telling someone that their partner is unfaithful? Never do it unless you are 110% sure. Also, be very aware and prepared for the fact that you are almost certainly about to make yourself a central player in some terrible drama. Yeah, man. And see, that's again, it only furthers my point correct that it's better to just tip them off instead of going straight accusatory. You know what I mean? Because you never know, bro. You never know. Like, you could be 110% sure. And then he's over there just like, wait, what do you mean? No, like, homeboy is gay. I've talked to him. I know his husband. And you're just like, Huh? What? The fuck are we talking about? You know what I mean? And so again, you never know. You really never know. There's a lot of situations that go on. I mean, I would argue even some scenarios nowadays, it's just like, oh yeah, that's Marco. He joined our relationship, and she's got 2 boyfriends and all that shit. Hey, not knocking the Pineapple Gang. I'm just saying, it's like, bruh, and if you don't know who the Pineapple Gang is, well, you're too naive then, because there's a lot more couples I think that are leaning towards that than ever. I think it's just simply for the simple fact that what's it called? Social media has just kind of made it hard for monogamy to really exist. If I'm being real with you, I think monogamy is kind of becoming outdated because of social media. It's like there's just too much access to just anybody. You know what I mean? Like you see a cute girl, you see a cute guy, whatever the case may be, they're a DM away a lot of times. And there's that like possibility of things happening, things not happening, and it's so difficult, especially with women. Like with women, it's like there is a very high possibility they DM any dude on Instagram or whatever, they're gonna get a response, and it's just like, dude, and that's what really sucks about dating nowadays, is that there's just so much access. Like a girl could easily just DM a celebrity, a rapper, an athlete, whatever the case may be. And it's like, she may not get sex out of it. She may not even get a date out of it. She's going to get a response, and that's the crazy part about it. Like, I don't even think I could handle even my girl just having rappers and stuff like that in her DMs. Like if she had that, oh yeah, no, I'd be done. I'd be like, yeah, no, we good. And that's not me being insecure. That's just me understanding like the caliber of man that she has access to, not even just in the fallacy of like, and it is a fallacy of a relationship. Like she's not going to get a relationship with these guys, but she is going to get fucked by these dudes. They are going to take her on trips and experiences and things like that. You know what I mean? Like they are going to do things that I just wouldn't be able to do. So it's like, why put myself through that heartache? You know what I mean? I'm over here dating her for 2-3 years, and then that rapper hits her back up. You know what I mean? And offers to fly her out to Miami or fly her out to wherever, and she takes it talking about, oh yeah, I went on a work trip, went on a girls trip, whatever. And I'm over here, I'm the guy that T.I. clapped my girl or some shit. You know what I mean? Like you never know. And that's the thing. It's like, I think nowadays it's all about risk management, and it's like you have to kind of think about things so far ahead now, to the point where if you're not, you're really putting yourself in a tough spot. You're risking a lot, especially as a guy. Women, I don't think you're really risking too much, only because the thing is with guys, for one, not a lot of guys can have multiple women, and then 2, it's like if your dude does cheat, man, he barely cheated. Like, let's be real. He barely fucking cheated. Like, you know what I mean? It was probably just like this little fling thing, and it didn't mean shit, Like when a girl cheats, it's like there's something a lot more to it. Like a girl's not just gonna cheat because she's not gonna just do it because she's gonna look at it like, nah, I'm gonna do it because I'm getting something out of this that I'm not getting from my man. And it just breeds disrespect. It breeds just a whole bunch of other factors aside from that. Like, you know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. I just think with the internet nowadays, it is absolutely terrible. And that's why it's like, you got to be very careful and to be 100 and just, instead of being accusatory with a lot of things, because to bring this full circle, because there's so much access, I think a lot of guys are kind of just in that position where they're okay with their girl, sleeping with other guys. You know what I mean? That's just what it comes down to, because they feel like, oh, I barely got this girl with the skin in my teeth, or, oh, if I want her to stay, this is her lifestyle and I want to stay and with her and blah, blah, blah. So they give into it. And that's what I mean. It's like social media is literally ostracizing the monogamous couple. A lot of people sit there and they're like, oh, I want a monogamous couple. Oh, I want monogamy, this and that. And it's like, you won't get it. And the reason you won't is because of social media, just the access in itself. you know. But all right. Okay. What's the threshold for telling someone that their partner is unfaithful? Unless I see it with my own eyes and I'm 100% certain about what's going on, I'm keeping my mouth shut. False allegations can ruin even the best relationships, and I don't want to be the one that ruins that by being wrong. Facts. Facts. You agree with me then? Where it's like, I'm not going, even if I see you with another guy, you know what I mean? Even I see my friend's girl with another guy, it's one of those things where it's just like, I walk up and I accuse, you harlot, you're cheating. And she's just like, this is Alfonso. We're planning, you know, his surprise birthday party or some shit. And then you're sitting there just like, oh, okay, well, shit. I feel stupid, you know what I mean? And then it gets back to your friend, and then your friend is just like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, that's not cool, this and that. Yeah, and so that's why I kind of look at it like I would just tip him off. I'd be like, yo, saw your girl out of this place with another dude. I don't know what they were doing. All right, I don't know, but I'm just letting you know because you're my boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would handle that. All right, what is your threshold for telling someone that their partner is not faithful? If you know someone is getting cheated on, then you should tell them. Yeah, easier said than done. Easier said than done, man. You know what I mean? It just, because I ain't gonna lie to you, there would be situations sometimes where, like, you believe the lie. You know what I mean? You believe the lie. Like, think about it. It's just like we'll throw back the scenario. Oh, no, this is Alfonso. You know, he's helping me plan the surprise birthday party. And you're just like, oh, shit. Oh, okay. All right. You know, and then you walk away and she's like, woo. Oh, shit. Thank you for going along with that. You know what I mean? Like, take me back to your apartment so we can, like, fuck already. Yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like, you also never know. And that's like I said, again, that's the reason why I tip them off, because it's like, if you believe the lie, well, guess what? She's still getting away with murder. You know, and then on top of that, it'd be something where it's like your friend is sitting there and he's thinking to himself, he's like, bro, you saw them together at the mall, and you're just like, well, bro, she said that was Alfonso and they were planning a party for you. Like, I didn't know. Like, he's still going to get pissed off at you because he's going to be like, bro, you're supposed to be my homie. Like, what are you doing? So, yeah. Yeah, man. Easier said than done, though. All right. What is your threshold for telling someone that their partner is cheating? When someone is getting cheated on and you've some sort of proof, picture of their Tinder profile, etc. Yeah, I don't know about that one though, bro. A picture of their Tinder profile, that's gonna be a little hard to get. Yeah, I mean, people ain't just walking around with their Tinders open and shit. You know what I mean? Now, if it's a thing where you're single and then you happen to, like, you know, find out, I would match with them to see what happens. You know what I mean? I would match with them to see what happens. And then I would, you know, walk up to them like, hey, you know, why didn't you match with me? Yeah, I saw you on the Tinders. Why didn't you match with me? What's up? Like, what are we doing here on the Tinder? You know what I mean? Unless it's that. Because that's crazy. I don't know how people get caught, like, getting matched with their friends on Tinder, or, you know what I mean? Like, bro, or their husband or their boyfriend's friend on Tinder. Like, that's crazy, man. That is absolutely insanity. But I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens because, you know, I wouldn't say everybody's on the dating apps, but most people are. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see. On to our next one. What is your threshold for telling someone that their partner is cheating? I'm very, very anti-cheating and always thought I'd 100% tell the other person because I want to know so I could leave them in their shoes. However, adulthood has thrown some curveballs my way, and this was one of them. First, I found out there are people out there that will act like they want to know, but once you tell them, they'll happily buy whatever BS their partner feeds them, and suddenly you're the villain who stuck their nose where it doesn't belong. Their shitty partner now hates you, and you're no longer a safe space for your friend to talk about their toxic or potentially abusive relationship. Second, I've now been in the position where a very close friend was attempting to emotionally cheat and found himself unwilling to prioritize telling his girlfriend, who admittedly I had literally never once met due to distance, over a close friend's well-being. His relationship died naturally soon after, and what he did bothers me a lot, but I found out that apparently that wasn't a line I was willing to cross. All this to say, there's a lot of nuance to this for me than I once thought. It's not as black as white as we all think. I now take into account the personality and situation of the person being cheated on, and aka if they would actually want to hear that info, or if they wouldn't do anything about it anyway, and it could hurt my chances of helping them out in the relationship in the future. Yeah, that's facts, and that's kind of what I've been saying, in the whole 15 minutes this show has been going on. Is just the simple fact that nowadays, relationships and cheating and stuff like that, it's very nuanced. You know what I mean? It's very situational, and that's why I look at it like going straight to just being accusatory of oh bro, your girl's cheating on you, this and that. There are a lot of desperate people, is what I've also noticed in the dating world today. I truly feel like when a guy or girl, doesn't really matter, when they find a person that they, deem checks all the boxes, or they deem is, relationship material, or they want to be with them, or whatever the case may be. Whenever they find that person, a lot of times they don't want to let that person go. And regardless of what that person does, they look at it like, it's justified. I'm sure they have a good reason. I'm sure there's a reason they're doing it. The reason they said it. There's a reason they, are doing it, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And so that's what I've noticed in this lately, is that there are a lot of people that, again, they look at things like, I cannot lose this person, so as long as their justification is good enough, I'm good with it. I'm okay with it. I don't mind. I don't care. And that, to me, I think is absolutely crazy, but it is the truth. It is the truth. You do get to a point where, there are people in your lives that they will be in the worst relationship they possibly could ever be in, and everyone can see it aside from them. And you kind of have to just be a friend and suck that shit up with them. And that's what I've noticed is it's better to let a friend go through a shitty relationship than to stop them from being in the shitty relationship. And that sounds like, what the fuck? What kind of advice are you giving right now? But it's the truth. It's the truth. Think about it. If your friend is dating a guy or girl and they're just being blatantly just abusive and shitty and whatever, but your friend is just like, no, you don't know what so-and-so is like when we're alone. Oh, you don't know them. Maybe if you get to know them, you'll understand they're just joking, this and that. You guys have all heard that, I'm sure. Once in your life, you've heard that. And so since you've heard that, you try to tell them the reality of no, this is not normal. This is not normal, baby girl, him doing this. No, this is not a normal, homeboy. What are you doing? And they're just no. You don't know what you're talking about. And, you're single. That's probably why you don't know. Or, you've never been in a relationship like this. It's complicated, so on and so forth. All right. It's one of those things that when you get into those kind of scenarios and you get into those kind of situations, I have learned that it's best to kind of sit back, let them fuck themselves up. Then when the relationship has beat them up so much, then you come in and you say, I told you so, but come here. It's okay. You know what I mean? And that's just the type of friend that you have to be. And again, if they want to get mad at oh, wow, you knew that he was a shitty person and you let it happen, blah, blah, blah. You let them know, hey, you wouldn't have listened to me. You wouldn't have listened to me even if I tried. So I let you go through this. I let you learn. And I waited for you at the end because I knew where this was going to be. I knew where this was going to end up. I knew where you were going to end up. And that's why I'm here. And you kind of got to just let them know that. You got to let them know that it's dude, I'm here for you. Love you. Still care about you. I wanted you to go through that situation so that way you understand what I'm trying to tell you or what I was trying to tell you. And I've noticed that a lot of my friends, they have taken to that approach a lot better than if I were to try to talk them out of it while they're in it. Yeah, it's just what I've noticed. I don't know if that's something you guys do as well, but if it is, let me know down in the comments, because again, I just truly think that it's a lot better when you just say, hey, if you think this relationship is good for you, then I hope that it stays good for you, and you just do your thing. And then when they ultimately get crushed by this relationship, you sit there and you be like, I told you so, but it's okay. Come here. You know what I mean? I think it's just the best way to go about it. But you guys let me know. All right, on to our next one. What is the threshold for telling someone that their partner is cheating? When it's pretty obvious that something nefarious is happening. If they walk out of a casual restaurant and give somebody a hug goodbye, that isn't anything to get up in arms about. Could be a friend / cousin / brother / etc. If I'm out at a bar / club and they're making out with other people, then that's definitely getting brought up. There's still some minor nuance there, but well, that's a general overview. Yeah. And I think a lot of people are kind of like, I think there's a lot of people that agree with me where being accusatory is not the way to go about it. It's more of just you tip your friend off and you let them know, hey, saw Kelly up in the club. She was kissing a dude that wasn't you. You take that information with what you will. Okay? I'm just letting you know. I'm just being a good friend. And I'm letting you know. Do what you're going to do with that. And if they stay together, they stay together. If they break up, they break up. It just is what it is. But I think where the problem comes is when people try to make the choice for them. You know what I mean? When you try to make the choice for them, I think that's where people are like, Nick, what? Who the fuck are you? Like, no, I'm not going to break up with my partner. You know what I mean? So, but when you kind of just give them the information and you let them choose from that information, I think things go over a lot better. Just a lot better. All right. So we're going to do probably two more and then we'll end. All right. What's the threshold for somebody for telling someone that their partner is cheating? I told at least 2 people they were being cheated on. They thanked me and went on to better relationships. If they can't believe it, block and move on. That's another way to go about it. That is another, like, I'm always the firm believer of, sticking by your friends and being there for them and stuff like that. Like, I'm the firm believer of that to where, and that's why I gave the advice earlier on where it's like, if they're in a relationship, you know what I mean? And it's bad and they're not listening to anything you're saying, you just wait at the end. And when it eventually breaks them, you tell them, hey, I tried to tell you. But you could go the other route and be like, all right, if you want to stay in this toxic shit, I'm not going to stay in this with you. And I'm going to go ahead and just leave. I'm going to leave this this friendship and you go and do what you want to do since you rather, choose that shitty person over me. And I do understand that, but I don't know. I look at it like if that's like your best friend, you know what I mean? If that's somebody like you fucks with heavy, that's my thing where it's like, I think it'd be more advantageous for you to kind of stick around with your friend, wait until the shit blows over, and then, of course, when it's time, then it's time. But I don't know. I can understand both ways. 100% I guess understand both ways. All right, this will be our last one for today's thread. What is your threshold for telling someone that their partner is cheating on them? Depends on who the someone is and what I saw. I had a neighbor whose husband was always with other women when she wasn't around. He would be very affectionate while out and about. She and I were friendly, but not friends. I don't know them well or the dynamic of their relationship. I kept my mouth shut. I once saw the boyfriend of a relative kissing a woman in public. This person is like a sister to me, and I know she expected that they were in an exclusive relationship. I told her immediately. They argued, but ultimately she stayed with him. That was her choice. But I couldn't sit back and say nothing. Yeah, because that's all you can do. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. Just give them the information and you let them choose what they're going to do. Because, like I said, I would argue nowadays, especially nowadays, people are just a lot more desperate than they like to lead off. You know what I mean? Men and women alike. They're just very desperate. You know, I feel like with women, once they meet a guy that they feel like, nah, this is the one, he checks the boxes, this and that, like they will go through hell and high water for that guy. You know what I mean? Like it literally takes him blowing up her cat for her to finally be like, you know what? You're a bad dude. And it's just like, really? Really? You didn't see that when I was fucking beating on you and calling you a bitch and this and that in public? It took me blowing up your cat for you to realize that? Wow. Wow, Kelly, you're stupid. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, I'm just saying. It's just one of those things where it's like, bro, come on, man. But yeah, you know, hey, it is what it is. That's all you can do sometimes. But that's going to go ahead and be that thread, man. Hope you guys enjoyed that thread. I know I did. Pretty juicy. Pretty juicy thread. Let me know down in the comments, you know what I mean, if you've ever been in a situation where you had a friend and they were being cheated on. What did you do? Let us know. Did you tell them? Did you not tell them? Did you kind of, you know, just tip them off? Did you send some screenshots anonymous? Did you do like, you know, a burner Instagram and be like, you know, I'm Deep Frog, you know what I mean, or Frog Throat or whatever the fuck they call whistleblowers nowadays. But yeah, man, you know, let us know down in the comments. All right. On to the announcements. Patreon.com/MyTheAssHole Podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as we're going to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. Audio listeners, thank you guys so much for all of the support. You guys are the absolute goats, and I appreciate you so very much. Rate us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free, and it helps out immensely. Thank you guys so much. Love you, and I appreciate you. Without further ado, though, let's get on into our scenarios for today. Our first one is, am I the asshole for putting rude people in their place at a 5-star restaurant? All right. Today, I was seated next to a couple. The male was speaking loudly on speakerphone in their language. The whole restaurant could hear us. But as soon as we sat down, the woman started taking selfies. A staff came to give them their table water and asked if they were ready to order, who they were extremely rude to. I can't stand people who walk around with their phone on speaker. Like, people want to hear their conversations. They're like, oh yeah, Chad, what's up, dog? Oh yeah, this and that, oh yeah, oh 100%, bro. Like, nigga, I know you got earbuds. You know what I mean? Like the day and age of holding your phone up to your ear, I truly feel is over, because we have earbuds that, you know, you can pop in and you can look like a normal fucking human being having a conversation on the phone. I do get it. If you still hold your, you know, phone up to your ear, it's fine. It makes sense. You know what I mean? You're still having a private conversation, and I understand that. But the fact that if you're the type of person that puts it on speaker and you're talking in public, that irks my fucking soul. Like, you are not that important. You're just not. You're not that important. Your conversation is not that important. Nobody cares about your conversation. Like, bro, what the fuck, man? I used to deal with that working retail all the time. All the time. It didn't matter who they were, bro. They were always had the stupid little their phones in their shirt, and a lot of girls would have it like tucked away in their bra or whatever, and their phone's on speaker, and I'm like, what are you doing, you weirdo? What are you doing? Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. That shit is annoying as fuck. But let's continue. So I was already pissed off at the treatment of the waitress. What put the icing on the cake was the woman started to take selfies with me in the background. She was so close it literally looked like I could have been in the photo had I smiled. I asked her not to include me in her photos. She was taking them that direction because of the natural lighting, lol. She kept taking them. I dodged them quite obviously for a while, asked again Then she kept taking them and sending them to a chat. I stood up and loudly told her if she takes another photo of me, I'll throw her phone across the room. The waitress came over and told her to stop, while also telling her partner no loudspeaker. Then moved us to a different section, and she scoffed at the waitress. I turned around and told her she isn't good and to stop being so fucking rude. Anyway, we moved, and some other people in the restaurant smiled / nodded at me, but was I too harsh? My partner was embarrassed. He is introverted and said I shouldn't have been so harsh. Yeah, you shouldn't have. My thing is I would have, if I were you, I would have just photobombed her the whole time. You know what I mean? Then if she wants to turn around and have a problem with it and be like, yeah, that's why you probably shouldn't be taking a picture with me in the background. Like, it would be much more appreciated if you could do that. You know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, look, I get your dude is fucking autistic or whatever the fuck you said he was. But it's like, at the same time, you shouldn't have to be the one to, like, set that straight. You know what I mean? Your man should have also been like, hey, you know, she said no. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You know what I mean? Or called somebody and be like, excuse me, you know, can you tell that woman over there to not, you know, like, you could have dealt with it in other ways. You didn't have to yell and you didn't have to get loud and all that kind of stuff. Because what I've noticed is when people do these like indirect annoying things and you're the one to blow up, everybody looks at you like you're crazy. And in your mind, you're just like,
hey, yo, what the fuck?
She's fucking taking pictures of me. Like, she's the one in the wrong. She's the one with her phone on speakerphone. Like, oh, I guarantee you there are going to be some people who understand. You know, some people will be like, yeah, nah, bitch was being mad annoying. Like, she deserves to get fucking yelled at. But then there are other people who just don't see it that way. And I get it. It's frustrating. It is. It's frustrating. It's one of those things where you're just like, bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And so that's why I kind of look at it like, sometimes you can handle it in different ways. You know what I mean? You could have got the staff. You could have got other people involved and been just like, hey, you know, can you tell her please not to take a picture? And then also, you know, your man should have stepped in, bro. He really should have. The fact that he just kind of sat there and didn't really do anything, and I'm guarantee you he saw that you were uncomfortable with all that, and he didn't say anything, like, that also is just like, bro, that was kind of an L on his end, if I'm being real with you.
What did he say?
Yeah, like that was just kind of an L on his end. I don't know why I hit that second button, but yeah, I just think that was an L on his end, if I'm being real with you. But, you know, you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. All right. Would I be the asshole for breaking up with boyfriend after he defended his best friend? Okay, well, let's see why. For context, I, 26 female, have been with my boyfriend, 27 male, for 4 years. We are genuinely perfect for each other, perfectly compatible, very much in love. My only problem since the start has been his best friend. Let's call him Josh. Josh has always given me an odd vibe. He would keep picking play fights with me, try to make plans with me alone, and never take money from me for my share of any bill if we say went out as a group. I didn't pay much attention to this for a while though, because I just assumed he was friendly and trying to make me feel like a part of the group. Facts, because I was like, the play fights and all that kind of stuff, he's just trying to tease you, and yeah, but I don't know the other stuff though. I don't know about that, fam. Things went south when his girlfriend left him a few months ago. He was a nervous wreck and would visit me and my boyfriend a lot more than he used to. One day boyfriend wasn't home and Josh came drunk. He was in the living room waiting for boyfriend. I was cooking lunch when he came up behind me and started pressing up on me. Oh shit. I tried pushing him away and he started to scream and accuse me of being a tease. He was groping and touching me, but he's a lot stronger than me and I couldn't push him off of me. He left by the time boyfriend got home. Boyfriend found me sitting on the couch crying and I told him everything and he confronted Josh. But later he defended him, saying that he was drunk and I should let it go. When I got mad at this, he said I was overreacting and that it's not like he assaulted me. Oh.
What did he say?
No, bruh. No. That was blatant assault. What are we talking about? Oh my, that was assault and pepper. Okay, all right, not funny. Okay, my bad, or something. It doesn't sit right with me that he would defend him despite what Josh did to me. Would I be the asshole if I broke up with my boyfriend even though he has confronted? Yeah, you should break up with him, definitely, because he's okay with that kind of behavior is very scary. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're excusing him from doing that because he got drunk. Now, the fact that Josh was not told that behavior was unacceptable could push Josh into thinking that, like, oh, well, if that was acceptable, then maybe I can push the envelope just a little bit more. You know what I mean? And he might keep pushing it and keep pushing it and keep pushing it, thinking that, oh, yeah, nothing's going on, cat pooped on my lawn, everything's chilling, and really it's not. Because then you're going to feel increasingly more uncomfortable around Josh when you guys hang out. He's going to be trying to do weird shit. He's going to be touching you, trying to touch your hand. And you're just going to be feeling so uncomfortable in that situation. And for you to not feel uncomfortable in that situation, breaking up with him is going to be the best, because let's be honest, bro, that Josh dude is not your boyfriend's friend, for one. Okay? For one, he's trying to fuck you. All right, let's just be real. Like, at first, I thought, okay, the playful fights, whatever. Oh, he's trying to just, he's not letting you pay for anything. Like, that's fine. That's gentlemanly and all that kind of stuff. I would do that for even my homie's girl. I would. Just because that is it's a simple thing of, like, this is me just being courteous to my friend's girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be courteous to her. I want to make sure that it's like, hey, look, I got your back. Just like he's got your back, it's all good. I would love for my friend to do that. I wouldn't look at that as being weird. But the fact that you got handsy and touchy with my girl and you practically assaulted her, let's be real, that's where I crossed the line. That's where I'm like, okay, hold up, pimp. We need to talk, bro. Because I would have went to Josh and been like, you were fucking touching on my girl, bro. You were groping on her and shit like that. What the fuck's wrong with you, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you? And if he's like, oh, dude, I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing, I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you were drunk, if you were high, if you were, on coke. I don't give a shit, bro. You don't touch my girl like that. Ever, bro. You don't touch my girl like that. Like, we are best friends, dude. Like, I trust you to be around my girl. I trust you to take care of her as I would. But you don't do that. You don't touch my girl like that, bro. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. You don't do that. Because the thing is like, it's my job to protect my girl and make her feel safe. And if I can't make her feel safe, even in the confines of my friendships, bro, there is no relationship. I'm sorry to say it, ladies. There is no relationship. If your guy cannot make you feel comfortable, even the confines of his friends, that relationship is over. It really is. And if he's defending these guys and stuff like that, that only makes it worse. It really does. It only makes it worse. And so that's why I'm saying, nah, man, I don't think you're the asshole at all. You do need to break up with him, because he pretty much was like, nah, it's okay that you got assaulted because it's my friend who did it. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much what it came down to. Disgusting, bro. Appalling. You guys let me know what you think about that one in the comments. On to our next one. I need advice. What would you do after the first date? Okay. I went on a first date with a girl on Friday who I met from Hinge. Thought it went really well since we were laughing and joking, and the date lasted 3.5 hours. I hugged her, and I hugged her at the end, but didn't want to put her on the spot. So I said that I hope we'll see each other again. After the date, she texted me that she got home safely. I responded that I had a great time with her and we should do this again sometimes. It's been 2 days and I haven't heard anything back. It seems so confusing to me since I thought we had a great time and she texted me that she got home. She hasn't unmatched me from Hinge yet, but I am sure if I should just give it up or if I should send one last message. We're both in our mid-20s, by the way. She's seeing other guys. That's really what it comes down to. I mean, it's a thing where, look, okay, harsh reality. Women are never just dating one guy. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay, women are never dating just one guy. They're not. And that it is what it is, bro. That's the dating climate today. Women are not just dating one guy. She is dating at least 2 to 3 different guys at the same time. And that's just the way it goes. She went on a date with you. She had fun. It was great. You did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? I'm sure, actually did have a great time. But in those 2 days, she went on dates with other guys. And maybe one of the other guys, showed her a better time. And checked off a little more of her boxes. Maybe you checked off, 5 out of the 7. But then this guy checked off 6 out of the 7. You know what I mean? And so then she looks at it like, okay, I'd rather have the guy who checks off 6 boxes than 5, but I'll keep 5 boxes guy around just in case. You know what I mean? If things fall through with him, I can go back to 5 boxes guy, and you're 5 box guy, by the way. And so, you know what I mean? It just happens. Like, I'm the same way. Look, I'm not impervious to this or anything. I've gone on dates with women a lot of times where, we having a fantastic time, amazing, it's great, it's fun, it's awesome, this, and that. And, I drop her off, sometimes get a kiss, you know what I mean? Touch her booty a little bit or whatever, you know what I mean? We're just having a good time. Everything's great. And then she doesn't text me back. And to me, I look at it like, well, it is what it is. On to the next. You know what I mean? It's on to the next. Like, she's obviously moved on to the next, so I might as well move on to the next as well. And that's just how you have to move, bro. You're in your mid-20s, so you guys are in that, like, area where, dating apps and dating is kind of... It's kind of like bobbing for oranges, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's just like you can't quite get a good grip on it. Like you can see it, you can see it, but you can't really grasp it, you know what I mean? And so the thing is I think what a lot of guys need to realize is that women are never just dating one guy. They're always, and I mean always, dating multiple guys. They're all at the same time. It's just the way it goes. A lot of women look at it like, oh, I like this guy's personality. He's fun and cool, but I like this guy because he drives a nice car and he has a good job. You know what I mean? And they wish that they could just mash these 2 guys together into one guy and date that guy, but they can't. You know what I mean? What I've noticed too is women are really bad at compromising. They cannot compromise for anything. They just can't. And it's the reason why a lot of them, do this tactic of dating multiple guys and having multiple boyfriends and all that stuff, because they can't compromise. They can't look at it like, okay, this guy is really good, dude, but he doesn't have a good car or he doesn't have a good job. Never mind. I'm going to go find a guy who does have that. And then they're like, fuck, this guy's a jerk, but he has a good car and he has a good job. So, like... I'll keep seeing this guy, because he's a good dude. But like when I want to be taken out and want to be wine and dine and shit, this is going to be my guy. Instead of being like, this is a good guy, oh, well, he doesn't have the best car or he doesn't have the greatest job. But like, I'll compromise and see where things go with him. You know what I mean? Because he is a good dude. Instead, they kind of look at it like, I want to have both. You know what I mean? Why not? Porque no los dos? And it's just like, bro... then they wonder why, we're all the good guys. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you villainized the good guys. That's what you did. You know what I mean? Like, I tell women that all the time. Women who ask me, they're like, oh, Aaron, where are all the good guys? Oh, you villainized them all. You want to know why you villainized them all? Because they liked you when they were at their best. You know what I mean? When they were the best possible guy for you, they liked you and they cared about you. But then all you did was ignore them and use them. So then they look at it like, okay, well, if women are just going to ignore me and use me, I might as well just ignore them and use them. And that's what happened. And then you're sitting there just like, oh my God, what changed? Why are you so different, James? And it's like, well, because this is what you bitches want. I'm getting way more bitches ignoring and using them than I was being nice. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying. It's like dudes kind of just, they find a solution to a problem and then they go with that. They look at it like, bro, okay, this is what women want. This is what they want. It is what it is, And then, you get to that point in life where you're like, okay, I'm ready for the nice James, and you try to go back to that dude and dude's completely different. He fucks you and uses you and this and that. And you're just like, what happened? I thought you were the nice guy. Oh, I thought you were this and that. Da, da, da. Like, no, you villainized them. That's what happened. And women only have themselves to kind of blame in that. And that's why I tell women, I'm like, no, you villainized him. That's the reason why he's a jerk. That's the reason why he's the way he is now. You know what I mean? Because he looks at it like, when I was nice to you, I wasn't getting what I wanted out of you. Now that I'm, a jerk and a piece of shit, I'm getting what I want out of women. And then you want to come back, you know what I mean? I treat you the way that you wanted to be treated, but now all of a sudden you move the goalpost and you're changed. It's like, oh, well, too bad, and then you're sitting there perpetually single and wondering, again, where are all the good men at? Well, guess what? You villainized them. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what else to tell you. But as far as this though, like, what would you do after the first date, bro? You gotta start dating multiple women. That's just what it comes down to. Like when I date personally, it's a simple fact of, I will date one girl, and while I'm dating her, I'm taking her out on dates and shit like that, and we're texting and stuff, I'm simultaneously talking to another girl, or I'm taking another girl out on a date. It's just the way it is, dude. Like, you have to kind of move that way for the simple fact that, that's how women are moving. It is what it is, dude. Like, I found myself texting another girl on a date with a girl because, there's a lot of times where you do go on dates with girls and they're just boring, bro. They're just absolutely snore fests. And so then you think to yourself, you're just like, all right, bro, what's the point of being with this girl? And so then, you just start texting your other one. And it's just, as douchey as it sounds, it's just the way the dating scene has become. It is. It's just the way the dating scene has become. No girl is dating one guy anymore. It's just not the way it is. So again, you need to start dating multiple women. All right. You guys have anything about it in the comments. On to our next one. Am I the asshole for falling asleep with my sister after playing video games? I don't know about that one there, Chief. Let's see. I, 34 male, have had 34 male, like to have my sister, 36 female, over to play video games together once every 2 or 3 weeks. On a Wednesday night. It's one of the highlights of my month. We eat pizza and talk and just chill with my dogs after pizza is put away. Usually we're done by 11 and she goes back home. My wife has said she's fine with this, and we've invited her to play with us a few times, but she's not interested. My current problem happened last week when I had my sister over. We did what we normally do and switched to watching a show after a little while. I'm not sure when, but we both ended up accidentally falling asleep. I've fallen asleep with her 100 times before, especially when we were teenagers and I would watch shows in her room because she had the TV. So I didn't really think it was a problem. We got up that morning and she went home. My wife waited until she had left to bring it up, since she had apparently seen us earlier that morning. She said that I disrespected her by not only having someone overnight without asking, but also by falling asleep with a woman who wasn't her? Huh?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's my sister. What the fuck? The first one was fair, and I think I was definitely in the wrong there, even if it was by accident. But the insinuation was kind of making really pissed me off. And we really ended up getting into a petty, intense argument. We haven't spoke since. My sister and mother have told me to just apologize to her and move on. But I still feel like I wasn't in the wrong for accidentally falling asleep with my sister, just because she's a woman. If it was a friend, I could 100% understand. But it's my sister. Facts. And no, you should not feel bad for having your sister spend the night, whether it's announced or not, because you fucking pay for the house. Oh my God, bro. I can't stand when dudes will sit there and they will pay the mortgage, they'll pay the bills and all that shit, whether it's 50-50 or not. It's like you're paying for the house and for the bills and all that stuff, and you're letting her dictate 100% the house rules? No. Shut up. I can have people over and they can stay the night if I so choose, because this is my house. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. And then on top of that, that's my sister. It's not like we were fucking, you know what I mean? Again, and now I agree with him on the whole, if it was a female friend thing. 1,000, I agree with that. I do. Because that is a line that's kind of crossed and whatnot. Like, I get that, 1,000. But that's my sister. And see, this is the lack of putting your fucking foot down. That's what it is. This is a lack of putting your fucking foot down with your girl. A lot of dudes don't know how to put their foot down with their girl and let her know what it is. Like, hey, no. Like, I can have my sister over. I can do this. We can do that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, no. I'm not about to sit here and argue with you. I'm not about to sit here and even listen to the rhetoric bullshit that's coming out of your mouth, because what happened is my sister came over. We watched a show and we fell asleep. Like, she always comes over. You have no say in this because, for one, that's my sister, and two, I pay for this house. You know what I mean? Whether it be 50-50 or I pay all the bills, does not matter. Now, if she's paying for everything, then you're kind of screwed on that one, bro. And I see why you're being a little bitch to your wife. But I would think at least you're paying 50-50. And so, since you're at least paying 50-50, no, you have no say. If my sister wants to stay over, if she wants to stay the night, like, she can. You know what I mean? You can't tell me no. The fuck are you doing? Like, I can't stand when women let their grown ass selves be told what to do like they're a fucking child because that's their wife. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, do you not have a spine? Like, come on, bro. Like, really? So again, I think it's really dumb. And again, if the shoe was on the other foot and her brother stayed over at the night, she would do the same thing. She would defend him and be like, no, that's just my brother. Like, why are you mad? You're making a big deal at nothing. Blah, blah, blah. This, and that. And it's just like, bro, come on, man. What are we doing here? That's why you need to fucking grow a nutsack and you need to put your foot down. The fact that you aren't, growing a nutsack and putting your fucking foot down is very, very telling. You know what I mean? Very telling, and that's crazy. That you can't have company or your family over, mind you, not even company, your family over, and they stay the night without your wife freaking out. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, nah, you need to put your foot down, bro, because that's wild. All right, this is going to be our last one for today's episode. You guys let me know what you thought about all the scenarios we've gone over so far, as well as the thread. This will be our last one. Am I the asshole? I told her to give me personal space. I, 25 female, and my fiance, 25 female, were at the store earlier. I was extremely hot and had to shit. Okay, IBS, which she knows. I was just trying to hurry in and out. Everything is fine until we get to the paper towels, and I'm trying to find a pack. She's just standing on top of me, basically, which is something she does often. I shop, basically, and she follows. I don't mind it always, but sometimes it's just too much. I kind of snapped at her and asked if she would give me some space, and she has been shut down ever since. Any talk we have, anytime I do something that upsets her, she just shuts down, even if I try to talk things out. Even if she does something that upsets me, she will shut down and barely talk about things. I voice my opinions, and she just sits there agreeing or looking down. It feels like we have the same conversations over and over and over again about helping out and communicating more, and she always says she will do better. But it just consistently happens anytime my feelings are negatively about her and I voice them. It's just never-ending cycle, and am I the asshole? Should I try to understand her better? No, that's actually a manipulation tactic. A lot of people don't understand that is a manipulation tactic, but it is. The manipulation tactic of making you feel guilty about voicing your concerns in the relationship is a form of control in the relationship, because what it does is it forces you to look at your valid reasons for being upset as a burden or a nuisance to your partner. And then in that burden and nuisance, you try to fix it and say, you know what? No. I was wrong. No, you wanting space, that was dumb. Like, why would I want space from you? Like, it's okay. You just been manipulated into thinking that what you need for yourself is wrong. That is a manipulation tactic, whether you know it or not. And the fact that a lot of people don't understand that is very scary. Because a lot of people will sit there and they think, oh yeah, he's just shutting down, or oh, she's just shutting down. No, they're shutting down and they're doing that. So that way you spiral into this, like, you spiral into doubting yourself. You get to a point where you think to yourself, like, okay, is what I'm doing right? Or is, should I actually be saying this? Should I be doing that? Was I wrong in that? You know what I mean? Like, you start to question yourself and you start to think to yourself, like, is my wants and needs in the relationship a burden to my partner? And if they're a burden to my partner, should I then, fix that burden? And it's tough. It's very, very tough to like see that, and there's a lot of people that sit there and they're like, oh yeah, I took, psychology 101. And it's just like, yeah, but a lot of people still don't understand the psychology of manipulation and how many forms it can take, whether it be a silent or very overt, way of doing it, or it's just abrupt and in your face. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that it has to be abrupt and in your face in order for it to like be manipulation, but no, a lot of times just your partner not wanting to talk about things, or your partner not, communicating with you in the way that they should, is a form of manipulation. Why? Because they're trying to get you to spiral and make you feel as if what it is that you need in the relationship is a burden to them. And then once you feel that it's a burden, then you apologize for it, and then you let the bullshit continue. And then you get to a point where you just can't stand it anymore again. And then what do again? You have the conversation again. You revisit this conversation. Once you revisit this conversation, then you're sitting there thinking to yourself just like, oh my God, we're having the same conversations over and over and over again. Why? Because they keep manipulating you into the same conversation over and over and over again. So yes, I do think you need to break up with this girl immediately, because she is manipulating you to the highest degree and you just don't know it. And it sucks to say it, but it's the truth, and a lot of people don't know it. And that's the reason why you're writing this in, is because you don't know. You know what I mean? You don't. And I get it. I'm not going to take it away from you. The reason being is because it's harder to see these things in a relationship than it is from the outside looking in. I do 100% understand that, and that's why I always give a lot of people in these scenarios grace, because I look at it like I understand. On the outside looking in, yeah, I can see the whole picture. But when you're in it, you can't see the whole picture. You can only see what is around you and what's immediate to you. So I understand it 1000%. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments, as well as everything we've gone over today. That's going to be today's episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, listening, all that good stuff. I will see you guys on Thursday, where we continue our book, Beautiful Venom. We are almost done with that book. I'm super excited to finish that book and get into our next one. All right. I love you guys all. I will see you on Thursday, and peace.